I was just, autopiloting through life, going to classes, turning up to auditions, doing my job. And then I realized that I was actually really lost. But of course, before I quit everything, I knew I wanted to do music. So I had that. It's just that I guess learning a new skill from scratch was just so overwhelming that either way, like, even though I knew what I wanted to do, I felt so freaking lost. So there was that. And, my family relationships aren't the greatest, and I was still living at home. So, like I realized that last year was like, I guess, a big year for me, because like, I guess before you started coaching me, I already started becoming aware of some things. Like I was like, okay, there's definitely something wrong with my anger management, time management. I get stressed out really easily. I have really bad habits. And I guess more aware I became of those things, the more like messed up I felt, because I was like, whoa, there's so many things to fix. And of course, I know you don't like me using those terms like fucked up, messed up, whatever. But yeah, that's how I felt back then. And coincidentally, not coincidentally, like I saw, I guess, your content on Facebook and Insta for a while. And I was like, I remember her from Chinese school. I'm not sure if that's where I met you, but I remember meeting you somewhere.
From like when we were kids.
Yeah, legit. And I was like, I really vibe with your energy. I guess because like you're born and raised in Cabra, right? And I was like born and raised in Chezo, which is like the area as well.
The next door neighbor. You're my next door neighbor.
Yeah, pretty much. And we're both Asian women. So I was like, yeah. So pretty much I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take that leap and, ask if you wanted to coach me. And yeah, it all worked out. And honestly, yeah, like I feel so emotional thinking, back to the past, because like I actually feel like I've changed so much. It's just like, oh my God, I feel so zen,
I mean, like, I think where you are right now, I feel like you've changed. Like, it's like you've jumped into a different reality. Like, you're not living at home anymore, and like, you're actually so much more kinder to yourself, and you take it easy on yourself now, and you're more forgiving, which was what like that past version of you. I remember when I met you, I was like, I felt like my heart was like, I felt so like. I remember like I think we were having like the interview when I was back in Byron, like just to like enroll you in, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like everything like can be I was like, everything can be shifted. I love it.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Yeah.
So thank you for trusting me.
No, that's all right.
The next question I want to ask is, what were your like aha moments? Like when we were working together and like things started clicking, like what were the things that clicked for you to kind of shift?
Oh man, there's so many things. Oh my gosh. Well, a recent one was, I think it was from our like second last or last session, was that I told you that like I still have intrusive thoughts, and I feel like it's because I feel empty all the time, and like I've been trying for like 10 or so years to really like fill that void, but I still feel it. And I guess that's why I feel like there's no point trying sometimes. And then you were like, no, like you're not empty. It's just that you're not really taking up space, like you're not really, I guess, living your truth in every moment. And I guess I brought this one up because last night my sister and I were just hanging out at our neighbors, and I was just sitting there reading, and I wasn't even reading anything that was like too emotional, but I just suddenly felt like crying. And like usually I don't, like I hold myself back because I'm like, I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, but I literally just put down my book and I leaned on the couch and just started crying.
I love it. Oh, beautiful. Amazing.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it just felt fucking amazing. And of course, like my neighbor was like, are you okay? And then I looked up and I was like, you know what? I feel amazing. I just felt like crying. And then, yeah, like I just stood up and I was like, actually, like I feel like sleeping now, so I'm gonna go back. And so I just walked back and slept, and it felt really good, you know. So and I feel so like, I don't know, just like a cheeky little bitch. I'm
I
not
love
usually
it.
like that.
Being selfish, just listening to your needs. This is you catering to your own needs, putting yourself first. Like, oh my God, this makes me feel so good. I love when people just like, just cry when you want to cry. You know,
Yeah,
just go sleep when you want to sleep.
yeah,
Love this.
yeah. So no, it was very good. Um, Another, I guess, like light bulb moment that I had during our sessions was, I guess, when you talked about resting enough and being kind to yourself. I know it sounds really broad, but I realized that, the past, I say 10 years because I started, I guess, working hard 10 years ago. Before that, I kind of like slacked off a lot in school and got really bad grades. And then there was like one time where, it was a period of time where I was obsessed with this singer and I was like, I want to meet them, but I'm sure they wouldn't want to, that I wouldn't be able to meet them being me currently. So I was like, I'm going to work hard and shit like that. And that was when I was 12, and it's been like 10, more than 10 years actually, fuck. But I realized, I guess because of the influences of other people, like my parents and some teachers and stuff like that, the only way I motivated myself was through, I guess, being really harsh on myself, like being really mean and not letting myself breathe. And I guess like it worked for me for like, the 10 years, but at the same time, it really messed up whatever was in there. Like, I remember I would go through an argument with one of my exes, and we'd argue for like 3 hours or something. And I was pretty toxic back then as well, until I guess like my second breakup, and then I became more aware of red flags and stuff like that. And then I realized, I ticked a lot of boxes when it came to red flags. But yeah, we'd like finish arguing, and straight after I wouldn't even let myself breathe or cry or whatever. Or I'd cry sometimes, but I'd go straight back into my room and start studying for the next exam until like 6 a.m. And I did that for many, many years, thinking, like, since it gets me good grades, it gets me auditions, gets me jobs, whatever, that, it's okay. But then after our sessions together, I realized that is really not okay. And not letting yourself rest or breathe is just so, it's just so sad. Like, I don't know what other word to use to describe it, but it's honestly so sad. Like, I would sit down sometimes at, my PC making a song, and nowadays if I don't feel like it, I'll just be like, I'm gonna drive out to a nearby park and just like walk, and just be nice to myself and listen to music. And then while I'm like out, I would think back to all those times where I wouldn't do that and would just like torture myself. And I'd like start crying. Like even right now, I feel so emotional because I don't know, it's just so slack. And like even recently, some of my best work came from me wanting to do it and feeling energetic and well rested. And not saying I wasted my time in the past, it's not that, but I just like, kept thinking about how much more efficient, I'd do things back in the days, or how much happier I'd be now if I didn't just try to push through, because like you said, it's not sustainable. But yeah, I'm glad I met you because